Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna create a digital product from scratch based on an interest or passion or hobby. And I'm gonna use AI in the entire process from coming up with idea to validating that idea to creating the draft to actually creating the product and publishing that. So super excited to share this process, partly because I've got a lot of questions when I started selling my first digital products, how to do that, and is it difficult? I wanted to create this video because it feels like creating digital products can be a very polarizing topic in a sense. If you go on the YouTube, at least a lot of people are this kind of hardcore, you have to create what's selling in a big amounts and what's trending and like just tap into that and go all in and create thousands of things and then list them and something will stick. For different reasons, that never works for me. Again, if you've seen my video about my principles of building my company right now, it's a lot about bringing value and authenticity. So whatever I create has to feel authentic and feels like it's bringing value to someone else. My journey with digital products has started with Etsy. It was 2023. I just had my second baby and the generative AI was exploding and I found Midjourney. Many hours later, many hundreds hours later, I don't think I slept those weeks with the newborn anyways, but the rest of the time I just spent in Midjourney. My mind was blown. I am a creative person. I've had a company before where I was selling and creating jewelry. I love Procreate. So I've always had this interest and passion for creating something visual, painting. So for me, it was like a natural step. Like I wanted to explore that. And then at some point, I realized that I can be selling that because I saw a YouTube video of someone who's been doing that. My mind was blown for the second time, and I realized this is the perfect match for me. Like, I'm going to try it out and I'm going to go all in. And I did go all in, and I've created, I think, over 200 different images. Of course, I did the market research beforehand, but that's a different story. So I haven't created something that was like just whatever I wanted. I created something that was selling, but something that still was aesthetically close to my taste, right? So something that I would create for myself. Basically, I was focusing on creating that. And fast forward to now, so I still have that Etsy shop. It still generates money. So I think all in all, out of 200 images that I've uploaded, it's like this Pareto principles, 20% of that sells really well, 80% doesn't sell at all. But 20%, those images that are selling, they still continue to generate money up to this day. And I haven't touched them in almost like 2 years, a year and a half. And I think up to the bestseller generated approximately $2,000 up to this point. And then there's others that generate also maybe like $1,000, 500 and so on and so forth. So all in all, that store brought me over $8,000 since it's been created. And this might not be a lot of money at all. Again, majority of that went into trying different AI tools and because I'm just obsessed with that part. But it's a good additional revenue stream. Back to why I think it's so important to have to identify your interest and passion and be that the leading step for you to create your first digital product. If you're a person who doesn't like creating just mindless, useless stuff, and you want to be creating something you like and something that can bring value to others, this is the path that I recommend for you. Because otherwise, if you just create something you don't care about, you will not be able to sustain this process until you actually see results because you're going to either give up earlier because you just run out of mental space to do that, or you're just going to burn out. The way I'm doing that is always taking something I care about or I have interest in or skills in and then turning that into digital product. So that's what we're going to do today. I hope you follow along. There is a Google Docs attached to the description where you could see all the instructions and all the prompts that I will be using. So feel free to download that and follow along. I will be using Claude for this experiment, but you can use ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever AI you're using. You can use Perplexity too, but I find it's really good for market research. But in the creation process, I find it's a bit limiting. What's important to note is that Claude doesn't have access to the real-time internet at this point, so it bases all its research on 2025 still. But again, for this purpose of this tutorial, I don't think it's a big limitation. You'll get the idea and then you can test out in different tools. Also, I'm using a pro version of Claude, which I highly recommend. It's approximately $20, but it will ensure that you don't run out of credits when you're creating a product. So let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, so we'll go to the Google Doc that I've created. Again, it's just linked in the description below, so feel free to download it. It's entirely free, but hopefully will help you to follow along and easier to copy paste the prompts. So step number 1 is finding your sweet spot. So if you're a multi-passionate person like myself, you probably have a lot of interests, and probably that also is something that got you a start previously because you just weren't sure which one to pursue, or is it even like, can it be profitable, or it's overwhelming, and I've been there. So that's why my first prompt will be, we can do 2 ways. 1, if you feel comfortable with talking to AI, you can just brain dump. So you start a new conversation, you press on a record button, and that you do on your app. So it's not available here in the desktop version, but you have an app and you download that and then you press record. And that is usually how I do it. So I've just, I would go like, oh, I have this interest and this interest, and like everything that excites you, everything that you find people ask you about, or you just find yourself in the rabbit holes of exploring and researching, tell Claude all of those things. And then you can also ask it to create 5 insightful questions that will help you determine your key areas of interest and skills and passion. So this is pre-step if you just have no idea. You feel really confused. You know you have a lot of interest, but you just can't really extract them. So brain dump this into Claude and then ask, please identify some common threads and create a list of the interests, passions, skills, hobbies that you could identify from my brain dump. So that is a pre-step. But we're going to start with this one. So this, let's say you already know what your hobbies are. So we'll just copy, paste this prompt, and we'll do some idea exploration. So we come to Claude. Again, as a reminder, I'm on a pro plan. It's just because I use it so much. I think you can do some limited prompting on the free plan as well, but you run out of credits quite fast. So I have multiple interests, and here I'm just going to use interests that I got from my Instagram post when I asked the questions, and I'm just going to put them all here and see what happens. I'm actually doing this as we go. So let's say my interest including holistic health, meditation, personal development, writing, mindfulness. What else? I'm doing a imaginary person because I got a lot of different answers. But let's see, like maybe essential oils. The more context you give to Claude, the better. So let's see, let's run with this. I have multiple interests, including holistic health, meditation, personal development, mindfulness, essential oils. Help me analyze each one for digital product potential. Consider current market demand, problem-solving potential, my current knowledge level, quick win, product possibilities. For each interest, provide a score out of 10 and explain why. So let's see where we get back. Okay. So it gives quite a good overview, right? So it basically rates different interests based on the market demand and problem-solving potential. So we can read here. Market for holistic health products continue to grow significantly. So it analyzes the growth rates over the years. Quick win product possibilities include wellness journals, holistic health assessment tools, guided wellness planning workbooks. The high score reflects strong market. Okay. Great. So from here, now we have to make a choice, at least from this perspective. So I will go back to my prompt and we will copy this prompt. Go back to Claude. I'm actually going to pick, let's see what mindfulness is. Now I'm just going with the flow because I'm actually taking a mindfulness course at the moment. Mindfulness represents a growing market segment that bridges personal developmental health, problem-solving potential significant, anxiety focus, work-life balance. Quick wins include mindfulness activity cards, workplace mindfulness guides, mindful productivity planners. Strong market potential and natural alignments with it. Okay, well, you know what? I'm actually going to go with, in mindfulness. I find it very interesting. That is something I am exploring actively. I do have some knowledge in. So by creating some product in that could be both supporting my journey and also, be valuable to someone else. I love this. Let's run this prompt. I'm interested in mindfulness. We made our choice. Help me identify 5 creative problems people currently face, list where they're currently seeking solutions, analyze what they're willing to pay for it, and spot any gaps in current solutions. Let me help analyze the mindfulness market. So it started the analysis, current problems people face, work-related mental load, digital overwhelm. I mean, yes. Mental fatigue, decreased productivity, feeling unable to switch off after work, anxiety, stress management, emotional regulation, digital addiction. Many find themselves constantly checking phones or social media. So we mostly have solutions in mobile apps, social media, online courses, workplace programs. So willingness to pay analysis. We started quite broad, right? So this is really good to see the range, even though we're not going for a premium offerings right now or like even mid-range solutions. I mean, if this is your interest, that gives you a really good overview of the roadmap, right? What else can I be doing that? So let's say you've already been talking about mindfulness or your interest with your audience. So you've kind of been building this, but you don't know how to monetize. So this gives you a pretty good idea of how can you be monetizing this over time. And then it gives some gaps in current solutions. And I think here we can spend actually some time reading. Most solutions treat mindfulness separate practice rather than. I think this is really important. So it really insightfully identified that after analyzing the market, this is the underserved areas, integration with daily life. Most solutions treat mindfulness as a separate practice rather than integrating into daily activities. There's an opportunity for products that help people practice mindfulness during regular tasks like commuting, working, household, profession specific, measurable progress tracking, contextual practice tools, technology mindfulness balance. So what excited me first was mindfulness. Secondly, what excited me second, the digital addiction and distraction. This is again a topic that I feel very passionate about, especially now raising kids and for myself as well, being a digital entrepreneur. Like I really don't want to be stuck in social media all the time. So I'm mindfully approaching that. So it's already like, okay, it excites me. I have an interest about that. I think that could be a value for myself if it's a digital product, and it could be a value for others. And now we have validated that it is a demand on that, and we have a pretty good idea what are the gaps here. Let's go back. So now we're going to actually craft the MVP of our product. We're going to use this prompt. Based on and the problem that we have identified, digital addiction and distraction and mindfulness in the target group of I'm a bit torn between teenagers and digital entrepreneurs. I'm actually going to go with digital entrepreneurs because this is something that I can, again, personally relate to. Trying to be present. Let's leave it at that. Help me design a digital product that could be created in 3 hours. Consider, but don't feel limited to. And it gives a couple of suggestions: templates, checklist, quick startup guides, mini courses, printable tools. We're actually going to take away mini courses because I'm more envisioning sort of a printed product. So let's help me design targeted digital product that address unique challenges digital entrepreneurs face with technology addiction and mindfulness. So product number 1. So now it gives a couple of ideas. The Digital Entrepreneur's Mindful Workday Blueprint, which is a comprehensive guide that would help entrepreneurs create structured boundaries between deep work, social media management, personal time. Like I want that product, right? The product would include a beautifully designed 20-page PDF, word blocks, evening routines, practical strategies for managing communication. Key components would include daily schedule templates, social media batch working guidelines. So that's the first suggestion. The product number 2, the Mindful Entrepreneur Screen Time Reset Kit. Interesting. This toolkit with focus specifically on helping entrepreneurs develop healthy relationship with their devices while running their digital businesses. Again, totally resonate, totally would need that product. It would consist of collection of printable tools, digital templates, designed to create physical reminders and structured practices. Components would include desk setup, device-free meeting planning. Okay. And the last one, I think, present and profitable. This is a 3-step system for mindful digital product. Okay. Again, this is a little bit more, it becomes a bit more, not complex, but it's a bit more to build, right? But again, it gives you and that's why the suggested price point is higher. This is more kind of like an approach, a framework, so that would require more work. I think for now, what we want to focus is actually number 1 or 2. I really like number 1. So let's go back to our, let's take the next prompt. So copying that, pasting, and we have chosen the product called the Digital Entrepreneur's Mindful. And that was an important prompt part. So suggest, which one's that? Make it comprehensive enough to solve the problem, but simple enough to create quickly. And I think this is like a one of those kind of things that you should take a note of when you talk to Claude and then kind of reuse that, because that gives a really good context of how you want the outcome to look like. So it has to solve the problem, it has to be simple enough, and it has to be created quickly. So taking a look in my process, this is the things that I take note of. I might even copy it and put it in my prompt Bible, but this is quite useful. So now it's creating a structure for the Digital Entrepreneur's Mindful Workday Blueprint that balances comprehensiveness with practical simplicity. The introduction will explain how digital overwhelm, must-have components, the morning power hour, technology batching framework, love batching, perfect, really happy to see it here. Deep work protection protocol, quick win elements, 5 minutes reset practices, device free zones template, mindful notification setup guide, client communication templates. So I see that it's creating a lot of checklists and templates. It's interesting. If I would be doing, I would be more thinking about it as a workbook. So I'm actually gonna ask it, please fine tune structure to be format and flow with less templates, more text, explanation. Keep the templates where relevant and needed. Let's see. So now I'm a bit going off script here, but I just felt like I want to steer it a little bit into a slightly different direction. Because I mean, I do think it's a topic, it's quite still a topic that a lot of people maybe haven't internalized yet. So I would want to give a little bit more background instead of just giving a bunch of templates. This I like much more. So now we have Digital Entrepreneurs Blueprint Guided Workbook. Perfect. So it suggests an introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. It keeps the batching. I love this because it knows it's important for solving the problem, protecting deep work, mindful transition resets. Perfect. I love this. I love this. Okay. So now we are going to, and here it is, like, here's the important part. So now we have the kind of bullets drafts, right? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask Claude to actually create that. Having said that, I always, when I'm creating something, I'm making sure that, first of all, I never publish just the AI thing, right? I'm always internalizing, adding my experience, adding things that I think are missing. But sometimes you can arrive to that point through conversations with Claude. So for example, I would ask Claude here, okay, we have this draft. Now ask me a couple of questions to take part of my experience that could be integrated into this book and give examples or something like that. So you can play around with that, but it is really, really important that you just don't copy paste. Again, I think like AI content will be everywhere, like AI copy pasted content will be everywhere. So it's really important to find ways to include your experience, to include your ideas and make it like a collaboration, right? But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna ask, please go ahead and create draft for my review. And now it starts crafting the draft. Perfect. Yes. So it's even formats now it even formatted it in a workbook outline. It leaves the space for writing. This will be very helpful now when we start working in Canva. Energy mapping exercise. I love this. I honestly love it. I'm going to use this. I'm going to, sell it as a product or like share it as a freebie on my socials because I think it's going to be helpful to so many people. Hmm. Yes, and then it asks me, so it doesn't create the whole thing from the scratch, but it asks if you would like me to create the next chapters. So I'm just gonna, I love the tone, please continue. It stopped here, so you have to prompt it to start to continue. So now it paused again and it asks us, would we like to add more specific exercises, examples, or implementation details? And I think for now we're good. So what we're gonna check what's the next step is. Yeah, so we're done with Claude here. Do not copy paste this just as it is. Use it as a starting point. Ask Claude to ask you questions to integrate your experiences. For example, you can create a prompt saying, Claude, I love this outline. Please ask me 10 questions to tap into my experience with these topics and my tips and tricks and things I've learned and that works for me, and then bake them into the draft. And that I recommend that you do on the phone. And you basically, again, brain dump, give different examples and so on, and then it will capture it and translate this into text into already existing draft. For this example, I will fine tune it a little bit. I'm not going to do the brain dump on Claude again. I will take this draft and I will just fine tune it when we go into the next step in Canva. Okay, so now we're in Canva and we're going to start design. We chose the booklet US letter size. Let's say if we find some interesting You just look for basically a template that aligns with your aesthetic or how you want this end product to look like. I will just go with this one to apply to all pages. And here basically starts the copy pasting work, right? Or you turning what you've collaborated with Claude on into the actual workbook. So this is going to take probably a couple of hours, especially if you've never done this before. So I'm going to do it and then I'm going to just get back to the tutorial. And if you want a separate tutorial for Canva, I'm happy to do that. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube, so just search for that. But if you want to try Canva's free trial, you will find the link below. So it has gone roughly 1.5 hours, maybe slightly more than 1.5 hour, but I also took some breaks. And now I'm done with creating the workbook. So basically, as you can see, we're in Canva. You recognize the style of this template. I've just used the template and basically created a more personalized welcome note, adding some additional details, also adding a disclaimer that AI involved in this process. And I think this is really important. I want to be transparent when I use AI, like always. And what I find to sort of realize is that some might ask, well, isn't it off-putting to put AI into that has been created with AI? And the answer is yes and no. Like if you just copy pasted from AI and created it, then of course, like there is no value to that. But if you're actually co-work on this with your AI tool, then I believe like I would want to know. And it doesn't put me off because I know that that just enriches the entire product for me, right? So the knowledge that I'm getting is on a fantastic high level. So for me, it's important to be transparent. I'm the person that appreciates AI and the guidance and sort of the knowledge it can give. So this is how I'm doing that. I'm just mentioning it here. And then you recognize all the parts that Claude has created here. I've added some space for reflections, for people to take notes. I've added some of my own ideas also in exercises, but pretty much we have it here. If I would have more time, I would probably added it a little bit more. But again, for the purpose of this tutorial, I think it looks quite incredible, to be honest. And then I've added an outro page with some of my contacts so people can stay in touch because I'm loving this. So I'm going to be sharing that either as a low cost digital product or as a freebie on my channels. So I've downloaded the file and we have it here in PDF. We have saved it as PDF file. What we're going to do now, we need somewhere to store this. And there are multiple options to do that. There is tons of different platforms and ways that you can do this. But for this tutorial, I've decided to upload it on a platform called Gumroad. And that is something that it is a marketplace of different digital products where you can host your product. It is one of the most popular ones. I've never used it before. I usually use Etsy or other platforms, but for these purposes, I was curious to try it out. And basically what you can do that after uploading it to the platform, you'll get a link that you can post in your socials, in your newsletter, in all your communications. I think it's easiest to get going with. Okay, so here we are on Gumroad. I just created an account yesterday and it took probably like a couple of minutes. So we're going to see. Create your first product. Yes, we have created our first product. Our first product is called, we're going to upload the name. I'll choose the ebook here. So now we need a description of our product. We are going to go back to my Google Doc. We're going to copy the prompt. And again, the name of our product. There you go. Now it's writing a copy for us. And the copy is including this characteristics, attention-grabbing headline, 3 key benefits, who is this perfect for, and so on and so forth. So that is something we would want to review and fine-tune. I think it's quite long. So I'm just gonna, can you make it shorter? Back to Claude. For the tutorial, I think I'll leave it as is. I think it's a pretty good description. If it would be a more higher priced product, of course, I would put a bit more work into that. But for now, I think it's quite good. I think it's pretty good. I'm actually going to remove this bonuses. I think this is a really good description. Cover. Okay, we need to create a cover. So pricing we have, versions, integration. Okay, there's some information we need to provide. I wonder if we actually need a mockup. I wonder if we need a mockup. We're going to go back to Canva. And yes, we're back in Canva. We're going to create a new design and we're going to look for mockups. Let's do like this, 2000 by 2000. Let's see. So basically we want to visualize how this will look like. And I think we can use this one. We just will need to create some screenshots. So I will go into the PDF. I don't know if my screen hangs with me, but I will just create a couple of screenshots of the front page, of the table of contents, and one of the chapters. Let's see. Take one of the chapters. Okay, I'm not sure if my screen followed on the recording, but you'll see me probably back in Canva. So I'm gonna transfer those to Canva. Those screenshots, and we already have, so here we can just update with my Instagram handle. And we can add links later. We just drag and drop. And here we go. Right, here we have our very simple, super basic, but basically the picture how our guide looks like. So we're just gonna go ahead and save it. Hopefully that will be enough for the Gumroad. So let's just here files, downloads, and we have this one. Okay, here we are. We just created a mockup. Like you can find the mockup files in Canva, but you can also find them in other places like Placeit and others. We're not going to go into that now, but just FYI. I think we're happy with that. We have no variations. We have the price, we have the name. Save and continue. Enter the content, upload the file, or start typing. Okay, so we can actually create a product here. That's quite fascinating. I didn't know that. Oh, that's incredible. But we're uploading our file here. So this is when someone buys that. This is what people will get as a download. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Okay, you have to confirm your email. I think it has been confirmed. I found the email, I press on confirmed. Interesting. Here, I think adding the tags, that's really good. So we'll go back to Claude and we say, we are uploading this product on Gumroad. Please create SEO enriched tags to help this product be found. Yeah. So we ask Claude to create a number of tags for us. Pretty good. We'll have to do this like this. Okay, mindfulness, we'll have to pick the ones that they're providing. Mindfulness, productivity. And the reason why we're adding those tags is that those will help people to find this product on this platform. So Gumroad is a marketplace. So people come there to buy digital products and they will be able to find it by searching different terms. And that's why we provide as much information about it as possible. I think it just allows for 5 actually. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to press publish and continue. Okay. So here we are. I think we're done. Okay. So now we copied the product URL. I guess we're done. Let's see. Let's go to the... Yeah, I haven't customized my profile or anything, but basically now we have the product. Yeah, we have 2 versions. So I'm just going to delete this one. Here we go. Yay. Okay, that was exciting. I think it's much, much easier to do than on Etsy. So I'm definitely going to be using this platform more. But I think for beginners, it's perfect. But I think we don't want to be relying on the marketplace. So if you have social media presence and this kind of like, this is something that you genuinely would want to share with your audience, you can just include the link, just go into the product. And let's find where to copy the link. So this is the link to the product. Let's just double check that. Yes. Okay. So this is how it's going to look like. So basically you just copy this link then. And then you go to your social media and you include it in your bio, in your profile, anywhere where this would make sense for you. And when someone presses that product, it will look something like this. They will enter their email address. They also can have a possibility to add a tip, and then they will check out. And in your Gumroad, you will see that you have a balance, that someone paid for it, and then you can just add your credit card and so on, or your regular card to get the payoffs. This is so exciting. Okay, so we have started with a hobby, with an interest. We have researched and validated it with Claude AI. We have outlined the pain points, the problems that we can solve with our product. We have created a draft. We have enriched this draft with our own experience and examples. We have created the workbook in Canva using a pre-existing template in Canva. We have downloaded that as a PDF. We have uploaded it to a platform that hosts digital products called Gumroad. And now we have a link that we can share with the world. Okay, I have done it in, I think I started recording around 9. So it's a couple of hours process, right? It's not even a 24-hour process, but you can tap into yourself with the help of AI and create a product that didn't exist before, that solves a real problem, that feels authentic to you, and that will create value for your audience. It's been super fun. I'm so happy that you followed along. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot of inspiration, and I hope you will take action on this inspiration. In the Google Docs that I'll attach below, you'll have an extra step if you are wanting to brainstorm with Claude or ChatGPT what kind of social media content to create to promote your digital product. This prompt is there, so make sure to download that. And good luck with creating your first passive income stream. If you like this video and you like this walkthrough tutorials, please do let me know in the comments. It takes time to create, but I think it's super fun. So I would love to hear your reflections, questions, and comments. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.